Have you ever heard of compounding, or do you know how to do it? Or have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow their wealth effortlessly? Let's take a journey to understand one of the key elements that make this possible: compound interest. Often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world by Albert Einstein, compound interest is the interest calculated not only on the initial principal, but also on the accumulated interest from previous periods. Imagine it as a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it collects more snow, growing larger and faster with each turn. That's the beauty of compounding. Your money, much like that snowball, grows exponentially over time. The formula for calculating compound interest might seem a bit intimidating at first, but it's rather simple. It involves multiplying the initial principal amount by 1, plus the annual interest rate raised to the number of compound periods, then subtracting 1. So let's say you invest $10,000 at a 10% interest rate. The interest earned in the first year would be $1,000. Now in the second year, you're not just earning interest on your original $10,000, but also on the additional $1,000 of interest you earned in the first year. This means your interest for the second year would be $1,100, making your total balance $11,100. As you can see, your wealth increases at an accelerated rate thanks to the magic of compound interest. It's not just about the money you initially put in, but also about the interest you keep accumulating over time. This is why compound interest is often referred to as interest. But remember, the number of compounding periods is just as important as the interest rate. The more frequently interest is compounded, the more beneficial it is for you. The compound interest is the secret ingredient that can cook up significant growth in your investments over time. It's the tool that can help you build wealth over the long term, mitigating the risks of wealth erosion and working in your favor, especially when you start investing early. So, are you ready to let your money work for you? Now that we understand what compound interest is, let's delve into its power. Picture this. You've managed to save $10,000 and you decide to invest it in a savings account with an annual interest rate of 10%. Now, in the first year, your interest earned is $1,000, bringing your total to $11,000. But here's where the magic of compound interest kicks in. In the second year, your interest isn't calculated on your original $10,000 but on the increased amount of $11,000. This means your interest earned in the second year is $1,100, bringing your total to $12,100. And this cycle continues, with each year's interest being calculated on the growing total, not just your initial investment. This is the power of compound interest. It's interest on interest, causing your wealth to grow at an exponential rate, not a linear one. The longer your investment period, the greater the effect of compounding, and the larger your final sum. Just think about it. If you were to continue this for 30 years, your initial investment of $10,000 would balloon to a total of $174,494.02. That's over 17 times your original investment. But remember, the number of compounding periods is just as important as the interest rate. The more frequently interest is compounded, the more your money grows. Daily compounding will earn you more than monthly, and monthly more than annually. The beauty of compound interest is that it does the heavy lifting for you. Your money works for you even when you're not working. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, growing bigger and faster as it goes. So, what's the catch? Well, there really isn't one. You just need to have patience and let your money grow. Remember, compound interest is a long-term game. The longer you're in, the more you win. As we can see, compound interest can turn a small investment into a large sum over time. While compound interest can work wonders for investors, high interest rates can lead to significant debt accumulation. Let's dive into the world of high interest rates to understand why they can be a double-edged sword. Imagine a scenario where you've made a credit card purchase of $10,000. If your credit card has a high interest rate, say 19.95%, the magic of compounding can quickly become a nightmare. In the first year, your $10,000 purchase grows by nearly $2,000 because of interest. But remember, compound interest means you're not just paying interest on your original purchase. You're also paying interest on the interest. So in the second year, your debt grows by even more than it did in the first year. Without making any repayments, in 5 years, your original $10,000 purchase could balloon to a staggering $24,831.40. It's a stark example, but it's crucial to understand that the same forces that can grow your savings can also grow your debt. High interest rates can turn a manageable amount of debt into an insurmountable mountain in a matter of years. That's why it's so important to be cautious about high-interest debt. It's always best to pay off your high-interest debts as quickly as possible. If you only make the minimum payments, you could find yourself paying off your debt for decades. But there's a silver lining. Just as understanding compound interest can help you grow your savings, understanding the impact of high interest rates can help you avoid falling into a debt trap. By being mindful of interest rates and making a plan to pay off high-interest debts, you can harness the power of compound interest to work for you rather than against you. It's crucial to balance the benefits of compound interest with the potential pitfalls of high-interest debt. Remember, with knowledge and a solid financial plan, you can make compound interest your friend, not your foe. Many of us wish we had started investing earlier, but why is starting early so important? Let's dive into the fascinating world of compounding to answer that question. Time is a crucial element when it comes to investing, and it's not just about the amount of money you put in, but when you start. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow, and this is where the magic of compounding comes in. Imagine you're in your early 20s, and you decide to invest a certain amount every month into a savings account with a fixed interest rate. Over the years, not only does your initial investment earn interest, but the interest you've already earned starts to earn interest too. This is the power of compounding. Interest earning interest. Now let's illustrate this with a hypothetical scenario. Suppose you start investing $1,000 a year at the age of 25. Let's assume a modest interest rate of 5% compounded annually. By the time you reach 65, you would have invested a total of $40,000. But thanks to compounding, your investment would have grown to over $120,000. But what if you waited until you were 35 to start investing the same amount annually? At 65, you would have invested $30,000, but your investment would only be around $80,000. That's a significant difference. This is why starting early is so crucial. Each year you wait to start investing means a year of potential compound growth that you've lost. And once lost, you can never get that time back. Investing early isn't just about having more money in the future. It's about giving your money the maximum amount of time to work for you. It's about leveraging the power of compounding to its fullest potential. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. So, don't wait. Start your journey towards financial freedom today. Your future self will thank you. So, how can we harness the power of compound interest? First and foremost, start investing early. The earlier you begin, the more time your money has to grow. Time plays a significant role in the compounding process. For instance, even a small amount invested in your 20s can grow into a substantial sum by the time you retire. This growth is due to the magic of compounding, where your earnings generate even more earnings. So don't delay, start today. Next, reinvest your earnings. When you earn interest or dividends, don't just take them out and spend them. Instead, plow them back into your investment. That way, you're not just earning interest on your initial investment, but also on your earnings. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering more snow and getting bigger with each revolution. Your money can do the same, growing larger as it earns more interest. But remember, with great potential comes great risk. So, the third step is to avoid excessive risks. It's tempting to go for investments that promise sky-high returns, but remember, the higher the potential return, the higher the potential risk. Choose your investments wisely. Diversify your portfolio to spread the risk and protect your money. And remember, the goal is not to get rich quick, but to grow your wealth steadily over time. By following these steps, you can put the power of compound interest to work for your financial future. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We've delved into the concept of compound interest, a phenomenon Albert Einstein famously dubbed the eighth wonder of the world. It's the process where the interest earned on your investment is added back to the principal, leading to exponentially larger interest payments over time. We've seen its power, transforming a modest sum into a significant nest egg, given enough time and a decent interest rate. But we've also warned against the dark side of compounding when it comes to high-interest debts. Here, the compounding process can rapidly inflate what you owe, turning a manageable loan into a financial nightmare. We emphasize the importance of starting early, showing how even small amounts, when invested wisely and given time to grow, can result in substantial wealth. It's never too early to start reaping the benefits of compound interest. And finally, we've shared tips on how to harness the power of compounding by investing early, reinvesting your earnings, and steering clear of excessive risks. Now that you understand the power of compound interest, It's time to put this knowledge into action. Remember, the best time to start investing was yesterday. The next best time is now. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more financial insights.